Hey Lucas Nation fans, tune in to today's video for another exciting Cooking with Kennedy Lucas. Stay tuned. Hey Lucas Nation fans, welcome back to another exciting video for YouTube at Kennedy Lucas. Now, we do have another exciting Cooking with Kennedy Lucas. Now, I've been waiting to do a video like this. It's just been time consuming and college consuming for me. Now that we're out on break for Christmas break, I hope everyone's having a good holiday, by the way. Of course, we're going to do a video called Cooking with Kennedy Lucas. Of course, we're going to make one of my traditional foods. Stay tuned. Now we're here in the kitchen here. We're going to start off with a little simple food factor here. Now, of course, I'll be doing fried chicken and Alfredo Alfredo pasta. My world's famous foods. Now, I know it can become a little bit more, a little bit generic with the foods. I know we're not doing something super extravagant here, but today we're hungry and I just want to show you guys a neat recipe. Now, of course, when you do your fried chicken, of course, you're going to need a little bit of Crisco. Crisco is really good, really helpful for frying some chicken, of course. And my dad's wife actually gave me a thing of batter, so this is really good for you guys. If you guys want to use flour, by all means you guys can do flour, but this is the same thing. It's just chicken batter. Of course, when you're frying chicken, you're going to have to batter your food up. Again, fresh chicken. I actually might cut these up. Well, I probably won't cut these up. They're going to be chicken breasts, of course, from either Ingles, Walmart, Kroger, whatever you prefer. And of course, you need 2 pots. Now here we're going to use for a pasta. So you need water inside the pot. You want to have to boil. You have to boil water when you're doing certain styles of pasta and stuff. You need to boil your water up because it makes good pasta. You can't just fry your pasta. Of course, you don't need a lot of Crisco in here. You just need a little bit of Crisco, but you don't really need a lot of it. A lot of people put way too much Crisco into their pot. Like I was saying, we actually did have a bucket of oil in here, but of course you guys can go to Ingles, Walmart, Kroger to get a thing of oil. Again, oil is good to use multiple times, but if you use it way too much, then it can be a little bit unhealthy. But if you guys use it a couple of times, you'll be straight. Of course, we're gonna wait for the 2 pots here to get hot. While we're doing that, I'm going to run over to get a knife. A little butter knife. Because that butter knife here is going to be sort of our, to make sure the chicken gets well cooked, we use a knife. You put a knife in between the chicken, and if the knife or fork, you can use a fork or a spoon or a knife. If the silverware is steaming from itself, that means the food is ready, chicken's ready. Of course, we actually had ours packaged up like this, but again, you can also use that same knife to open your chicken. Now, you guys want to make sure that you guys wash your hands before you're cooking food. Always wash your hands. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different for what we what we did. Okay, we inserted the batter. And don't be afraid when you make a mess in the kitchen. Don't be afraid, because you're cooking. As long as you clean up your mess, we're good. And that's what really cooking is. It's a big mess at the end. Just like that, shake your batter up. Okay, Lucas Nation fans, I changed the camera angle for you guys so you guys can really see more of it. Now the camera's going to be moved around quite a few times within this video, so you know, all you guys can see is my hands now. Of course, you guys can see that this pot for our pasta, the water is getting boiled real nice and well. So all you got to do, and here's the Alfredo. Again, you guys can go to either Kroger or Walmart. You guys can get this brand of Alfredo, but once your water is good and ready, and it seems like it's really good and ready to boil my noodles, insert the noodles inside. Okay, so that's my Alfredo. Now you wait until your Alfredo is nice and boiling inside your pan here, but you just wait and see. Now, here's the pan for the chicken. Of course, it takes a good minute for oil to get heated. So, when you're doing something like pasta or fries or something, you want to make sure that you don't really overdo what you're doing and you don't leave out a step when you're doing fries or chicken. When you're basically just frying stuff, you don't want to miss out on anything. As you guys can see that your pasta is really going now, we're still waiting for the pan for the chicken to get hot. It takes a good minute for that as well. When doing pasta, you want to make sure you have a spoon ready. You guys can either use a wooden spoon, you guys can use plastic spoons, but wooden spoons will be better for pasta and spaghetti. Plastic spoons more for fries and more fried food. So again, you just stir up your pasta. Then you just wait for your pasta to get cooked. It takes a good minute, about 10 minutes to cook that. Now we're gonna sort of switch the camera position a little bit so you guys can see how we're gonna do our chicken. As you guys can see, this is our pan for our chicken. Nice battered up chicken. Open up your chicken, like so. Place it on there. Don't be afraid to put a lot of, well, not a lot of food in there in your pot, but make sure you put enough where it can cook in all in one go. And when you're putting chicken into your pot, it's always good to use a utensil. Again, you guys can use a spatula. Doesn't matter how you use it. Like that, you just put your last piece of chicken in there. Here's your spatula. Now I'm going to take the camera actually off the tripod so you guys can actually see the result. Now here is the chicken. Again, it's okay if you make a mess. You're gonna have to clean it up anyway when you're done cooking, but this is your chicken, nice and fried. is your pasta. Nice and fried. Really good. Back to the chicken now. When cooking, it's all about multitasking. So you must know how to do good multitasking when cooking multiple foods like pasta and chicken. You want to make sure you're able to do multitasking because you don't want to overflow yourself and you don't want to burn down your kitchen, of course. So you want to make sure that's going to be real good when it comes up again. I think I'm actually going to add a little bit of milk in that with Alfredo. Your 4 chicken breasts. Of course, I'm cooking for my brother too, so I'm not going to eat all this. I'll eat like 2 of these in my pasta, but my brother's actually going to eat some of the chicken too, so. Okay, so now we got the pasta and chicken cooking. As you guys can see, my hand, it got a little bit dirty, but that's all in part of a good cook. You guys can see that the pasta is brewing real good. Still need a couple more minutes for the pasta, but it'll be on its way. It'll be finished. Has a little bit of sauce in that. Chicken still cooking. Okay guys, important note, when cooking chicken, when it's cooked on one side for a good maybe 10 minutes, it's your time to flip the chicken. Flip it like so. But be careful not to get the grease inside the the eye of the stove, because that could catch fire when you flip it too hard and the grease get down to the eye of the stove. You know, chicken can be kind of hard. When cooking chicken wings, especially chicken wings, it's really hard to flip those, but with this, should be not too hard to flip, but it's really hard to flip. You let it cook on the other side for another good 10 minutes or so. Another thing I want to point out, guys, make sure you're cooking on a kind of a high to 8 temperature. You guys don't want to make sure you don't want to cook it too low on a low temperature, but you want to cook it super high, because your chicken will cook a lot faster than it actually should if you have it on a higher degree on your stove. Then we check in on our pasta. Looking good. Still need a couple more minutes for the pasta, but it's still looking good for you guys. Okay, Lucas Nation fans, while the chicken is cooking, I want to point my direction over here to the napkins. Let me tell you why it's important to have napkins. Not only to rinse your hands off when you're cooking, but when you're brewing up chicken, chicken wings, chicken breast, any type of chicken, you're going to need napkins. When chicken is cooked with grease, you guys, well, most of you guys would know that when you're cooking chicken with grease, of course, you don't want to have no greasy food. So, of course, you're going to need your napkins, like so. Try to do this with one hand. And you want to put it on top of your plate. Of course, we're using plastics, but, you know, plastic can burn real easily. Just like that, to put your chicken on. So that way, when you take up your food, like so your chicken, it wouldn't be so greasy once you start eating it. Alright, Lucas Nation fans, the pasta's almost done and the chicken is almost done. Now, when you're cooking pasta again, make sure you're on a high temperature for the first part of cooking the pasta. But when it's almost there to the finish, you want to turn down your oil just a little bit because you don't want your oil to be super hot. Because when you're cooking pasta or something liquidy kind of like this, you want to make sure that you're careful on the eyes because when the pasta gets stuck, it gets stuck into the pan. It'll be really hard to clean out once you're cleaning up after you're done cooking. So you want to make sure that you don't overheat your pan or overdo your pan. Alright, Lucas Nation fans, the food is almost just about ready. Now, for the Alfredo, what you want to add a little bit of is a hint of milk. That's what Alfredo kind of is. They have a little bit of hint of milk into their pastas, especially Alfredos. If you go to Olive Garden, they'll probably tell you the same thing. Oh, we add a hint of milk. Just a hint of it now. You don't really need a lot of it. You just need that much. Take your wooden spoon, like so, just stir it up. Make that good Alfredo texture. Looking good. Make sure once you put in like any type of ingredients, if you're using a special type of seasoning, especially like adding extra ingredients, you want to make sure you add a hint of milk. Of course, with Alfredo, you guys can add salt and black pepper. I probably won't add pepper on mine because I really don't like pepper all that well, but you guys can add pepper, salt. Let that sit for a good minute. And the same thing goes for the chicken. As the chicken is almost ready, you guys can also add a lot of stuff like seasoning, kicking chicken seasoning. You can add salt. You can also add black pepper. I actually seen people who add black pepper onto their chicken, but you can add lemon pepper sauce. You can add hot sauce. You can add barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is a little bit more difficult to make because you actually have to brew up the barbecue sauce when you're doing that. On chicken, you guys can put a lot of stuff like that on that food if you feel like it, if you want to. Of course, we're just going to leave it a little bit plain. That'll be for my next Cooking with Kennedy Lucas as I do more sauces with chicken, but yeah. Okay, ladies and gents, the chicken is pretty much finished. Now, again, guys, you have your napkin with your plate on it. Of course, you have your chicken. Let's take this bad boy out. Don't that look good? Again, guys, when you're picking up chicken again, use your spatula with holes in the bottom, so that way when you take up your chicken, it will not be greasy when you take it up. Just place it like so. A little trick I learned from my mom and dad actually back in the day when I was first learning how to cook, and I would just take it all up with a spatula without holes in it, and my food was greasy. Food is up. Make sure you turn your eye off fully. Another neat thing when you're taking up chicken, if you're not really too sure, now I'm pretty sure, but if you're not too sure, for all of you guys out there cooking, not too sure that your chicken's done, you take your knife like we picked up earlier in the video, stick it in between there, take it out, and fill your knife. Ooh, yeah, that's finished. Lucas Nation fans, if you're still not convinced and you still don't know if your food's done, cut open your meat. Look inside, make sure there's no pink stuff. As you guys can see, there's no pink. Looks very, very good. Good enough to eat. That's ready to eat. Alright, Lucas Nation fans, your pasta is ready. Now make sure, guys, when you're cooking pasta on the existing eye that you cooked it on, make sure you guys move it further back. So that way it doesn't still cook while you're eating and it burns onto the pan. Now if it burns a little bit onto the pan, it's okay. You can always wash it out. And again, guys, another successful meal for you guys here on the YouTube of Kennedy Lucas. I hope you guys did enjoy cooking with Kennedy Lucas. I know this has been a little bit more southern than just fried chicken and pasta, but I want to make sure that I produce out really good content for you guys, and I hope you guys really did enjoy it. Now, again, please be sure to check out this video and all my other videos, also on YouTube at Kennedy Lucas, Dailymotion at Kennedy Lucas, and all the other websites in the link description below. You guys enjoyed this little video. As of right now, I'm Kennedy Lucas, logging out.